Hachette Audio presents Wedding Bells in Christmas. Written by Debbie Mason. Read by Becket Royce. To Perry, my one and only. I wouldn't want to be on this journey with anyone but you. Chapter 1. Dear Heartbroken in Hoboken. 2 years? Seriously, it's time for you to move on. Stop with the what-ifs. Stop trying to figure out what went wrong. This guy has taken up space in your head and heart for way longer than he deserves. You have a job you love, family and friends who love you. Focus on that, embrace that, and start enjoying your life again. Vivian Westfield stood in the long security line at LaGuardia Airport rereading her responses to next week's letters from the lovelorn. Satisfied that they met her new criteria, the one where she no longer kicked butt but gently smacked it, she sent her Dear Vivi column off to her editor. At least Heartbroken had a job that she loved, Vivi thought as she shoved her iPad in her carry-on. Vivi remembered the feeling. Oh, how she remembered it. 10 months ago, she'd landed her dream job as an investigative reporter for the Daily Spectator. All the long hours and hard work she'd put in at online newspapers had finally paid off. But she'd had only 4 lousy months to revel in the sweetness of her success. While working on her biggest story to date, the story guaranteed to earn her editor's respect and, more importantly, protect her best friend Skylar O'Connor, Vivi's career imploded, as spectacularly as a sinkhole opening up on Fifth Avenue in the middle of rush-hour traffic. Looking back, and she'd done so every day since that bitterly cold November night, she realized where she'd gone wrong. She'd let Superman into her life. She should have known that someone who named himself after a comic book hero would turn into an overprotective whack job. In her defense, until that story, he'd fed her information she never would have gotten on her own. And over the months they'd spent texting each other on a daily basis, she found herself thinking about him all the time. As embarrassing as it was to admit, she'd been crushing on Superman, fantasizing about becoming his Lois Lane, which was ridiculous. She had no idea what he looked like. She hadn't even spoken to the man. The only thing she knew for certain was that in his misguided attempt to protect her, her sources had dried up overnight, and that's when her story went sideways. But Vivi was no quitter, and she'd track down the woman at the safe house to get the goods. Lesson learned? Bad guys don't quit either. The NYPD hadn't been...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?